I'm waiting for y'all. We're going to get y'all right nonetheless. Nonetheless. Okay, we got one person in there. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Yes, sir. Go ahead and feel free to leave comments in the chat because this is honestly how I'll respond to y'all. All right. Yeah, we got two people in there. Good morning. Good morning to you. I hope y'all are in for it and ready for today's show. Once again, like I said, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 5 before I really start this video. I would like to have 5 people in the room before I start it. If we can't get to 5, then I'll do it with whatever I have in the next few minutes. Yes, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I like what I'm seeing. I got two people in there and 2 likes. That's a positive. That's a positive. That's what we look for. All right. Man, it is Wednesday, February the 8th, 2023. And today's episode is going to be about how to pick a puppy. How to pick a puppy. Aquatic knowledge, tapped in. Hey, I salute. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome to the live. How to pick a puppy. Man, this video is going to get intense. So I was trying to get to 5, but I'm gonna put on. I feel like DMX said, I'm gonna put on the show for 1, the same way I put on the show for 1,000. So let's get started. Get to it. So today I wanted to talk about how to pick a puppy, and the first thing I want to talk about is the phenotype, the look. So the first thing anybody should be looking at is, do the puppies look healthy? Are their coats shiny? Do they have weight to them? Does this puppy match your ideal image of what life looks like in your puppy? First thing I look at. I don't care what nobody say. If you think that I'm tripping, think about a pretty dog versus an ugly dog and the quality of life of just having a pretty dog. People are going to naturally gravitate toward that prettier dog. And from a marketability standpoint, or just at the standpoint of looking at a beautiful animal competing for conformation shows, you want a pretty looking dog, all right? So off the rip, picking a puppy, start off with, does it look like you want it to look? Me personally, my preferences are red noses or buckskin dogs, personal preference. Do I think the black dogs, brindle, or other colors aren't better? Nah, that's not it. I'm not on that. I'm just saying the phenotype that I like for what I'm trying to build is red noses or buckskins. That's what I prefer. Just off of rip. If I'm judging a contest and there's 2 dogs that are closely touted, I'm gonna pick the buckskin every time. You know, if all the qualities are the same. Now, once I have the look, just simply the look of what I'm looking for in a dog, there are qualities I'm looking for. And that's where, if you check in the description, I have things in my description that talks about temperament test. So that's where we're going in at for today. We're going to talk about temperament test and actually picking the personality of a dog that I would want to have once I have the look. Now, for temperament testing, there are a million ways to temperament test. I have my own temperament test that I do on every puppy that I let go, because ultimately this test allows me to home the puppy with the appropriate family or appropriate owner or the appropriate agency for that puppy. Now, the temperament test I use has a grading scale, from 1 through 50 based upon 10 tests that I do. All right. Now, on the low end of that spectrum, you're going to have dogs that are really, really timid. We talking about a one-person owned dog. Like this dog, the kind of dogs I'm talking about from the testing, these are the dogs that when you come in, they get excited and pee on the floor. Or these are the kind of dogs that when you When you come in and you're loud, they hide under chairs. You know, they run back. When you go in to touch them, they jerk. You know, these are ones, or like they score ones on the different kinds of tests. On the far end of that spectrum are the fives. And with dogs that score fives, these are dogs that bark at everything. Their prey drive is uncontrollable. Like they like to tear things up. They're really great. They look like they're great for working dogs, but they're not balanced. They're too far on that end of the spectrum. They're gonna bite everybody. There's no decision making on whether a person is a threat or whether a person is like friend or family. These dogs are on go, on go, on go. These are also one person dogs. Like, yeah, they might rock with their owner, but these dogs also have a high probability of being the ones you see in the news for biting somebody because they get loose and they going straight to that person. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I try to see at an early age because through socialization, once you've seen basic qualities in a dog, you can never tell 100%. This is not a controlled thing. This is a matter of just understanding dogs. I don't care what anybody says. There's no such thing as control of your dog. There's training and maintenance and management. That is it. That is 100% it. But proper training and maintenance will definitely help with that. Now, so we got the low end of the spectrum, the ones, and you got the high end of the spectrum, which is the fives for these dogs and their temperaments, right? Now, what I look for in a dog when I'm testing them, when I'm temperament testing them to hone in my skills, is I'm looking for about a 3 to a 4. Because I want them a little bit more aggressive for protection work, but I also want them to be balanced enough or centered enough where they can be controlled, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I use a prong collar or an e-collar, I can snap them out of fight drive or prey drive or defensive drive back into compliance. All right. These are also typically the dogs that I would have for people who are doing competition, you know, and that's any kind of competition, whether it be like, you know, treadmill work, because they have a high prey drive. You know, they have a high prey drive. They're gonna be confident. They're gonna be able to do the work. You know, they're not gonna quit on you as fast. They have all the intangibles that I'd be looking for in a dog to be very, very successful at whatever you're gonna put them into. Okay, so once the puppy is temperament tested, and you have your prospective purchasers in mind, right? Each person should be interviewed to ensure that you understand what they're asking you for and have the courage to tell somebody like, hey man, like out of this litter I got, I have one puppy that is anywhere in those tolerances that I would use personally. And this puppy is going to be this puppy right here. And typically it's not going to be off the looks they want. So what you can do is you can have your what you think is going to be your working stock. And, you know, you can rank that litter accordingly. That's how I rank my litters. You know, some people go off of just phenotype and what they look like. But no, I go off of, like, workability of this dog. Because I'm also going to try to put that dog with somebody who's going to work it and show my blood and my line of dogs in the best light. You know, a 5, like, just being 100% transparent. Like, I don't box dogs. And I don't do that kind of stuff. But the 5 is, like ideally what the traditional American Pit Bull Terrier would look for other than the human aggression. But like that's gonna be a dog that's just like super animal aggressive, like it just sets off, like it just go, go, go. I don't necessarily need that. And a lot of your Red Boy Jocko stuff nowadays is true to that. Top of the morning, Darrell Smith, how you doing, man? Salute. But yeah, man, like a lot of your Red Boy Jocko stuff like that is hot, really hot fire gas. But for the kind of work that I do, the things I enjoy doing, that's not necessary. Those dogs are necessary to an extent, and I keep about a quarter of that in what I actually work with. And I'll produce it and let it go to the public. But everybody has Red Boy Jocko now, so like I don't view it as being special. It's like Jordan's, like that's what you do, like it's the thing. But my stuff is designed for me and what I like to do. All right, so looking at the topics we're gonna cover today, we have now gone over how I rank the puppies. The next thing was, how do I decide who's best suited for that puppy? Okay, so to decide who is best suited for a puppy, once all my puppies have been ranked, I need to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not letting a dog go to you without talking to you and find out what your intent is with my dog. You know, and don't lie. Because if you lie, I might home the wrong puppy with you. Now I get a bad name because my dog doesn't do what you requested for that dog to do. And we have bad blood because simply you weren't honest and truthful. Now, mind you, when what I'm trying to build is I'm trying to build my Shogun army. You know what I'm saying? Like I call it my Shogunite, right? Now, anybody who purchases a puppy from me gets unfiltered access to me because I want that puppy to be successful. And to get that puppy to be successful, I need people who are trying to push it forward in the best light. The kind of work that I want my dogs doing is hog hunting, protection work, obedience work. What's up, brother? Representing the Freemason bloodline from NC. Absolutely. Hey, NC represent. I'm from Bladenboro, NC. That's in the 910. I also got family in the 252 and the 704. Salute. But yeah, man. Making sure that that dog works for you, you know. Good. Check out Kennels channel. Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out, man. For real, for real. And I do like to invest in other businesses, specifically with dog men. Absolutely. But yeah, so welcome to the channel, y'all. Let me give y'all an update because we had 8 right now. We start off with 3. Those 3 who were in here, I appreciate y'all. But for the 8, what I've gone over and what you can do later on is you can go back and check the first 10 minutes of the video. I'm trying to do this in 10-minute segments. But what we talked about was how I pick a puppy and how I rank the puppies within the litter, right? Also, we talked about, or what I'm talking about now, what we're moving into for this second segment is going to be how I pick the person to go with the dog. Now, one of these puppies is already spoken for, like my homie, like, you know what I'm saying? He came through. He actually helped me save one of my dogs one day. So he's getting pick of the litter. Money doesn't help with this. Like, he saved the dog who was bred. He saved her life because I had a yard accident and I was in Mississippi. So, you know, it is what it is. But like, that's what it is. And he wants a dog that can do the obedience and protection work. So if I only have one out of that litter that meets this criteria, that's where she's going to. That's off loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as talking to the rest of the people, if somebody goes, hey, I just want a pet dog, I'm going to look to house them with like a 2 on that ranking scale from that ranking I was talking about earlier in the earlier segment. Like a 2, 2.5. Because what that is that's a dog that's going to be timid enough that it's not going to leave the yard looking for stuff. You know what I'm saying? It might hunt. You know, it's going to be game because everything I breed is I breed to game dogs. You know what I'm saying? So gameness is a quality that I am trying to preserve in the breed, but it's not my. I don't need a dog that's hot as fish grease to prove that it's game. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hog hunt, then you test it however you test your dog legally test your dog. But that's just it. Okay, so you talk to the person, you got their intent. And typically what people are looking for is to start a program or they're looking to get, but if they're dealing with you specifically, they're looking to get what you have. So what I would tell you is, for me, I'm looking for a dog that's between a 3 and a 4.5 on my scale of like workability, right? Now, salute, what's going on? Cannon G Kennels, salute. And so what I'm looking for is a dog that when I start socializing it at about, you know, that 3-month mark, I'm taking this dog around treadmills. I'm taking it to the gun range. You know, I'm putting it around loud noises. We in the house. I got my Lexus blaring. Salute, strong. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I'm looking for like a dog that can handle blaring noises, you know, fireworks, pistols being shot. I got the burlap sacks, you know what I'm saying? I introduced them to the flirt pole, making sure they gonna handle it. Hey, I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about. We got 9 here. Let's get them. Hey, thank you. And so we got the flirt pole going. You know, I'm introducing them to slap meal. I'm introducing them to bicycles. I'm just like really introducing them to everything, you know. And it's at that point that I can make a decision on whether I can work that dog or not. All right. And so through all of this process of proving them is where pricing comes in. And like, I don't think it's fair to not talk about pricing with y'all or how I price them. So a baseline purebred animal that comes from me with ADBA registration, with its temperament test results, with a Samurai Kennels hoodie, a towel that was used to whelp them, so when you get it home, it actually has something that smells like its mom when you get it home with you, so it's not whining all night in your house, and a year-long subscription to my Patreon, that's for just the purchase of a $500 puppy, right? That's it. You know, all these things. I'm actually only making, probably after vaccinations and things, I'm only probably making half of that. You know, and then for the Patreon account, you know, we would talk about that. But for my Patreon, that allows you to ask direct questions that everybody on YouTube doesn't get those answers to. You get specific answers to what you're looking for. All right. And on my Patreon account, the memberships for that start off at $3 for a Patreon membership, samurai level. Then I have a Shogun level Patreon, which goes into my dog training stuff, like how I'm doing with my dogs, my puppies. So you can actually see, like, on my videos on YouTube, I put like music and stuff to it. And I'm talking over the video, so you can't hear what I'm saying, or I'm not giving you a lot of feedback on exactly what I'm doing. So on there, like, that's really expensive, and I only recommend that to people who really rock with me. Like, you don't have to spend no money, and you can get free content on YouTube all day. I'm not out here trying to take your money, but I do value my time. And if you want specifically things geared toward a specific individual, then that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? The game is meant to be sold, not told. So anyways, moving on to pricing, $500 is a basic puppy, all day, every day, and every litter will have those, because not all puppies are going to meet the criteria for working dogs, or like they're not going to meet the cut, period. But they still got good blood, they're still purebred, you can still show them conformationally, and maybe they do things, maybe you use the dogs for things I don't use them for, that their dog is a perfect fit for you. But to be honest, I would have to let you know, like, look, like, this is not something I've used in my breeding program. It's bred by me, but it's not for me. All right, cool. And then you got dogs like Saki that meet all my tests. They work the mill, they work the bike, they work the sleeve. They are balanced. They can do obedience work. They're conformationally sound. And for a dog like that, they start at 1,000. They work their way up. You know, and that depends on age and amount of training and time I put into them. Because, like I said, time is money. Like, you can't get time back. You cannot get your time back. So if people are rocking with you and they want to do it, they can, and I let you know that all day, every day. And the ones that are 500 go on my website, and they're sold on YouTube just like the ones that are over that. However, typically the ones that meet my working criteria go to my camp. And my camp is my nuclear circle of people who I do my breedings with, who I train with, and who I just spend general time with. Like I said, my partner that came over here when I was out of town and broke up a yard accident I had going on, like, that's family, you know what I mean? And the more you rock with me, the more you become family, because you need to know what kind of person I am to deal with me. That's not fair to you to just deal with me just because I have dogs. I think that's not fair to the game, and that's not right, because I may not be right for you, and I will always tell you if I'm not right for you, I'm cool with that. We can just chop it up. That's cool. So we talked about. Let me give y'all another interim summary before we move into the 20-minute mark of this video, just so y'all can know what you're coming into. So in the first segment, we talked about temperament testing and how to pick the puppy. Also, we talked about pricing, and we moved on into starting to talk about who each puppy should go to and how they're ranked, right? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is questions that I would expect you to ask me straight up. And hey, respect. I appreciate that. Also, you know what I'm saying? That's just all, it's all Bushido code, man. And that's why I put these Bushido codes in there so that I can ensure that everybody understands the code that I kind of live by. You know what I mean? But something I want y'all to have, and I want y'all to ask me. I want y'all to grill me if you're gonna get a dog from me. I want you to grill me, right? Because I want you to get what you're asking for. And the first question I ask to a breeder is, what's your purpose for this breeding? All right? What is your purpose for this breeding? What's your intent? Why did you do this, right? Now, the answer you would get from me for the breeding that I just did was, and I'm just gonna get kind of scientific, is why did I do this breeding? I did this breeding because I now have the phenotype and the personality traits in a dog that I want. Saki has met every test that I put him to, and I'm not gonna say he like blew him out the water, but if he was a student in school, right, I would say Saki is a B to B plus student at everything. Literally at everything.
Sign for Walmart, please.
And so it's let me hold on, I gotta take this over and sign for this Walmart order, y'all. But Saki has met every request that I've had for him. He's met it and exceeded it, right? And so because of that, how you doing?
Good. How are you this morning?
Always great, never bad. All right, let me go ahead and sign for this thing right here.
Alrighty.
All right, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too. You have a blessed one.
You too, sir.
So Saki has met every criteria that I would want him to meet and exceeded that criteria to an extent where like I now when I do things with him, I now do things that are unorthodox or that I don't need to do just to make sure he's still growing. All right? Now, he is a really chill dog. Like this is another quality that I look for. Saki is just chilling. Y'all see that? But he can turn up too. Watch him, Saki. Watch him, Saki. Watch him, boy. Watch him, Saki. Out. Sit. Good. Good. Sit. Good. Speak. Good. Speak. Speak. Out. Good. Sits. Saki. No. Good. Good sits. Good boy. That's a good boy. Now, Saki meets all my tests, and he's a really balanced dog, you know. And so that's the things that I look for in these puppies. So to answer that question before I got really interrupted by Walmart delivery, is that I did this breeding to recreate Saki. Now, scientifically, how did I do that? Well, I did a heavy inbreeding, and probably the heaviest inbreeding I'm gonna do for a while is I got you. Exactly. A tight inbreeder, right? Or a family bred dog, right? And so with mine, Saki was bred to his mama. Thank you for that. And so Saki was bred back to his mother, Bacardi. Bacardi is more laid back than Saki, and she's actually better at obedience work than he is. But Saki has more of the drive that I need for the work that I do. Now, for me personally, I like the bite work stuff. It really excites me. Like I enjoy it. That's why I do it. You know, it's an activity I can do with my dog that I enjoy doing to exercise them. So even if I never took them to a competition, I would keep my dog and I would do that for life with them because that's what I like to do. If I had a Chihuahua, I would still do bite work. Like that's an exercise that I like to use, right? And so Saki has all those qualities, so I don't really see the need to add anything into that mix yet. All right? And that's the why behind the breeding. Now, another question I would ask the breeder is, if I get a puppy from you, am I gonna still be able to contact you if I have questions about this puppy? Or are you trying to sell me a dog and disappear? Ask that question, you know, get that information because out of the dogs that I have right now, there's dogs I bought and I can't even tell you where or who the person that has the dog is at right now. I don't know if they're selling dogs. You know, I don't know what their intent was behind selling the puppy, other than I feel like it was peddling. You know, I feel like they were puppy peddling. And I mean, like, that's cool, but that's not my intent. Like, my goal, if you get one puppy from me, my goal is to home another puppy from another breeding with that puppy and tighten up my blood by pushing it out. So I would rather deal with the same people over and over again than to part my puppies out because I'm looking to grow a community. Eventually, what I would love to see is at my retirement home is for people to come out and visit me with dogs that were produced by dogs that I produced by dogs that I produced, or crosses of my stuff into other people's stuff. Like there's kennels that I specifically would love to work with or to do crosses with just because I really respect the person and their dogs look good to me. Like, I'm just giving an example of a smaller kennel that everybody might not know about, Weedy Boy Kennel. Like, Weedy Boy, he got his dog named John Wick and a bright light or whatever. Like, I really love his channel. I love what he's doing with his movement. So I would do a breeding just to see if our bloods click. And if they don't, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm not mad at him because I experimented and it didn't work out. But that would be my intent behind a breeding like that. All right, so cool. So you ask the breeder questions like, what is your intent? Who you're letting them go to? Then you ask the breeder, is there any breeding restrictions he's gonna have? Is he gonna put you on contract? Hey, am I gonna have full breeding rights to this animal? Or are you expecting me to like have it spayed and neutered? Ask those questions because The registries I'm with, BFKC ain't really gonna bother you too much. I try to keep my house around the camp for that reason because I might want. Yeah, absolutely. And then, like I told you, man, like so that yard accident, I almost lost both my females in one yard accident. That's another reason why I'm trying to house these dogs with people who I stay in contact with. Like a lot of the pictures and thumbnails y'all see on my YouTube channel are from the last litter that I had. Like they're grown dogs now, and the people hit me up once or twice a month and go, "Hey, your dog's doing this." I got pictures of them. It works a meal. I got pictures of my dog working slap meal. I got pictures of my dogs getting their first hog. You know, these are things that are important to me because I want to know that you're enjoying the animal. Because if you're not, if people aren't enjoying the animal, they end up in the pound. Grand uprising. Curtis McLean, salute. But yeah, man, like it's important to me that when the dog goes to a home, it stays at that home. Also, and I think this is probably the biggest thing that I think any breeder should tell you. What can you do if you get into a situation where the dog has to be relinquished? Now, I'll give you an example. I let a dog go to a homeboy. The homeboy got in trouble and had to move. At his new house, he couldn't have pit bulls there, right? For me, if I bred the animal, I will take the animal back at no charge to the person if I bred the animal. But it needs to come back with the documentation and paperwork. And also, if you do your own shots, please track your own shots because this is what's going to happen. If it's short-term storage, which is 6 months or less, then I'll just house the animal. Like it's my dog, I bred it. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind housing my stuff. I wouldn't put out something that I wouldn't invest in, even if I'm not going to breed it. And my policy is that after 6 months, if you can't get it back, or you're not in a financial position to get it back, that I rehouse it. All right. And then that's how I recuperate my funds off the animal. But I rehouse it to somebody just like you, somebody who has a very similar lifestyle to you, and somebody that might possibly be willing to sell the dog back to you when you get in a better situation. Or if they decide to breed it, you can get something back off a dog that you had an affinity for and a relationship with. These are the kind of relationships I'm trying to cultivate because I will never see that dog that I let my homeboy get back. And like I think it's just a respect thing. Now, if I'm full up and I don't have room for it and you need to sell it, like you got to do what you got to do. You bought the dog, it's your dog. But I just think it's a good respect thing between two people if you offer them their blood back first. You know what I'm saying? But also, if a person ain't willing to take their blood back, that should tell you something. If they're not willing to take it back, that should tell you something. Because they're going to hit you with, it could be infected, it could have diseases, and that's true. That's 100% accurate. It could. But I know how to go to a vet and get my dog babesia tested. I know how to get my dog tested for different things that I don't want on my yard. I also treat my yard, and I know how I like my yard treated. Even if the dog came back infested with like fleas, like I know how to treat for fleas. You know what I'm saying? Peace. How you doing? Nice. Welcome to the show. All right, y'all. So y'all know about every 10 minutes I've been doing an interim summary. So I'm gonna go ahead and give an interim summary to everybody who just joined. All right, so the first thing we talked about was temperament, ranking your puppies, and how to pick a person to let your puppies go to if you decide to let them go. Then we talk about pricing and how puppies are priced. And now we're moving on to questions that you should ask the breeder. All right, cool. Another question that I think is highly encouraged to ask the breeder is, will this dog do well in a small environment? Everybody doesn't have 10 acres. I don't have 10 acres, and I don't expect to ever have more than probably 4 to 5 acres of land, right? This is important to know about your dog. My dogs don't typically roam. Even if my dogs got out of the house, right, or got out of their pens, they typically won't leave my yard. They're not roamers, they're territorial, right? They keep within a certain area. This is something you need to know. Some people have dogs that are roamers, and their dog, if it gets loose, they might not see it for days. Yeah, man. Hey, Darrell Smith, man, hey, you solid, man. Look, you know what, matter of fact, get with me, hit me up in my email after this video, man. Like, I really appreciate the energy you bring today, bro. I got something for you. But yeah, like a lot of these dogs might not have the personality that you need for what you needed. Like Saki, like y'all see him right now, like I'm here talking loud and doing things. He ain't barking. My red boy Jocko dogs will be going crazy just because I'm here talking and they're not getting attention. This is stuff that you need to know from the breeder, like what does this dog require? Like the Samurai Kennels line, that Shogun bloodline that I'm talking about that I'm building right now, that's one of the qualities I'm actually looking for. I'm not just looking for like how they like can work. I'm looking for like how they live. You know what I'm saying? Like if Saki get loose right now, he gonna come in here and he gonna clean up some of the stuff that my kids might have dropped on the floor, and then he gonna try to jump in my lap. That's it. He chill. You know what I'm saying? If a dog or a cat come around, he gonna do what American Pit Bull Terriers do. But if I got him on leash and I'm walking him, like he heals, like he walks just fine. Like I can walk him in a dog park, and as long as the dog don't growl or come at him in an aggressive posture, like he chill. But at the same time, like I done seen him like put it on a dog at the dog park because like people wasn't managing the animals properly. And at the end of the day, I look at it like this: my dog is do what he's supposed to do, and so they wasn't happy about it. But my dog came out here with no scratches. That's all I'm saying. Um, And that's what it is. And I know that was irresponsible to go to the dog park, but I'll tell y'all why I go to the dog park too. So typically when I go to the dog park, I don't actually go there for my dog to interact with the other dogs. I will go there when I'm doing obedience training because if my dog can pay me attention with other dogs there. Good morning, good morning. Y'all, Mr. Arthur Lemon, man, like Arturo Limon, that is my guy. Like, I wouldn't even have Saki if it wasn't for him. So big ups to my man Art. So now that we've talked about questions for the breeder or what you should be asking the breeder, let's talk about what a good breeder should be asking buyers. What should a good breeder be asking potential buyers? All right. So I'll give y'all my perspective. Yep. And then they're gonna charge them hundreds of thousands to get them back, man. So they gone. You know what I mean? They gone. Questions for the buyer. First question: do you have kids? First question I'm gonna ask everybody: do you have kids, man? Like, what's your family life like? One, my dogs are great with kids, but I will. If you're the kind of person who leaves dogs alone with kids, I would not. I wouldn't not. Like, I don't think I would want to sell you a dog, man. I'm being 100% transparent. Like, the last thing I ever want is anything I bred or have involved around children and a child get injured. And then, I'm not saying that my dog's gonna maul a child to death, but like these dogs are rough, and if they knock a child down, start scratching them, and the wrong neighbor kid gets scratched by your dog, man, it could be the dog literally playing bad negative publicity. We want none of that. We want none of that negative publicity stuff. All right. Two, do you have other pets in the home? And if so, what's your intent with my dogs and your pet? All right. Because if you have other pets in the home and you're planning on letting them play together, that may not work out for you in your favor. Because I'm telling you right now, like with these dogs, I'll give you an example with Saki, right? With Saki and one of my other males, they were all the way up to like 9, 10 months chilling. I used to feed them on separate sides of the yard, and then one would stay at his bowl and the other one would stay at his bowl. And one day, Saki just decides that, you know what, my bowl ain't good enough, and he runs over there and hits my other dog. Like, mind you, these are puppies. Like, they're under a year old. They showing some signs, but I mean, like, they've never been touched before. Like, nothing's ever been done to them. Like, these dogs shouldn't be acting like this right now, right? And I mean, like, I was walking them the day before on leashes side by side, right? Even running in the backyard together, like, for play. Like, they was puppies. You know what I mean? And also with Eli bred dogs, they typically are slower to start, so I didn't think nothing of it. But this day they got to wrecking, and I'm like, my son had to come downstairs to help me like get them apart. And it was some negligence on my part. Like, I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but they hadn't showed me anything that would make me think otherwise at that point in time. You know what I mean? Like prey drive and dominance is two different things. But after they started, now they can't play together no more. That's just what it is. So like having them as co-pets and raising them with other dogs in the house, like you do what you want, but I personally would not advise that. And that's something I would want to know before you like took a puppy out of here. Additionally, what is your intentions or what fallbacks do you have? Do you have any references? Do you know anybody that I know that can vouch for you? Does this matter? Absolutely it does. Because if my friend Art or my friend Walt or Luke or any of my camp, if they vouch for you, like it's different, man, because I trust them. You get what I'm saying? Like I trust my team. So if my team vouches for you, good morning. What's up, Pelican Bay? I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Like I look at you like a celebrity. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell all of y'all that. Like this ain't no dick riding none of that bullshit. But I fucks with Pelican Bay channel, man. And also him being from the Carolinas, big ups to Pelican Bay. But another question I would ask for them is, what are you gonna do with my puppy? Like, why are you getting this dog from me? Like, are you getting this dog because it's gonna sit in the backyard on the chain? Because if that's what you do, then that's maybe not be the dog for you. I really want every dog I do to, at a minimum, be shown in the ADBA dog show for confirmational purposes. If nothing else, at a minimum. You know what I'm saying? The treadmill races, the high jump, all that other stuff is great. But like at a minimum, I want my dogs put into a positive light because I want to move it forward. And I think about this, I'm a basketball player, so I'm gonna use basketball terminology. Curtis McLean, salute. For basketball terminology, James A. Naismith made basketball, right? But it took generations of people doing basketball and making it better until we get our Michael Jordans, our LeBrons, and our Kobe's, right? So each generation should make it better. That's what I'm looking for with my puppies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to do protection work. I don't need somebody else doing protection work, but if they want to, that's great. You know that's what I breed for. But I need people that's gonna take them out in the hog hunt because I don't have the land to do that with. Go out there and catch a 300-pound hog with one of my dogs and take a picture so I can post it. I love that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't use a slap mill. I use the email. Show a picture of my dog working a Jenny or working a slap mill. You know what I'm saying? And send me that. Send me some video footage of them. Send me some video footage of them just acting like a bulldog. I love that, man. I really love this bulldog thing. And if that's the kind of person that you are, that's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what I'm looking for. And if that's not you, then maybe I'm not for you. That's cool. You know what I mean? I'm looking for people who are going to be trying to be activists in their community. Like, are you going to Crockett? What's good? What's good, big dog? I be seeing you in everybody chat, and I love the support you giving, man. Stay with it. I be seeing a lot of people. We talk about like being activists and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But what I really would like to see is when they having local town council meetings, are you going there and are you asking your local town politicians, like, hey man, like, how do you feel about tethering laws? You know what I'm saying? How do you really feel about tethering laws before I vote for you? Because I'm telling you right now, with the 11 people I got here, there's 11 more people than what voted in my local elections last year, right? That's 11 people in this live right now. If you had 11 people go out and 11 of y'all sat on a town council meeting once, right? And you ask that question to a town council and you go, hey man, like, how do you feel about tethering? And when it comes to voting on tethering laws, how you gonna vote? That's enough. 11 people, typically you don't have no more than 30, 40 people go to a town council meeting. If you have 11 people putting pressure on there, that's what's that, a quarter, 25% of the room. 25% of the room telling you, hey man, like, what you gonna do? How you gonna speak on our part? That's big. Okay, cool. So for those of y'all who just buzzed in, about every 10 minutes I've been giving updates. So far what we covered was temperament testing of a puppy and how we rank each puppy. We covered who's the best suited for the puppy and how to pick people who are best suited for your puppies. I've gone over pricing and how I price my puppies. I've gone over questions that you should ask a breeder. And finally, we covered up so far questions for the buyer or what you should ask the buyer, right? So the next thing is what to do next. Because a lot of people go, hey man, I want to get a puppy from you and I want to stay in contact with you and I want to make sure I'm moving forward in the direction that you moving forward with the breeding. And I really appreciate that because everybody know I'm moving forward with protection work, right? But what I really want is people who have their own direction that work and coincide with what I'm already trying to do. For example, I like to do protection work. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just like to hunt with your dog. Or maybe you just like to condition dogs. What I really would like is somebody who goes, hey man, I'm gonna take your dog and I'm gonna condition it for a show. I'm not a conditioner. I condition my dogs, but I'm not a conditioner. I would love to have in my circle somebody who literally focuses on conditioning and nutrition of a dog, right? So if that's what you do and you purchase a dog from me, I would come back to you and I would be trying to get information from you and trade information with you, you know, or if you're a person that's a trader, like, for example, I build carpet mills, right? But I don't know how to build a slat mill, but I really like slat mills. So if you're a person who does trades, I would send clientele your way because it benefits you. And if you have one of my dogs, it benefits that dog to help you with your commerce. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just use Brother Pelican Bay because he came in here, and I like to shout out people because I know what they do. My man trains dogs, so for him, if it meets his program, I would love to put myself into another program of somebody who has a different direction but does something that's in a positive light for these animals. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to push the Samurai Kennel and the Shogun line of dogs out to a fraternity of people who have similar concepts and similar mindsets, but ain't the same. My overarching goal is to have 2 clubs that I'm in charge of, that I'm president and CEO over. I want to have one through a confirmation show, whether it be SDR, ADBA, or whoever, but I want to have a confirmation club that I do specifically for the American Pit Bull Terrier, the true American Pit Bull Terrier, Marquand 1998, salute. And then I also want to have a PSA or IPO Schutzen club that I run that focuses on the training and the mentorship of new dog trainers with a focus on the American Pit Bull Terrier. But I'll authorize any dogs, Pressas, Cane Corsos, Madleys, Dutchies, German Shepherds, because with the protection work, a lot of times the paperwork or the breeding is form. Let me rephrase that. For protection work, it's typically function over form, but form still matters. Whereas with the confirmation stuff, it is form first with the attitude, but not necessarily the ability to do the work. I want a happy medium. I want my dogs to be able to go in either direction. So what to do next is know that those are the 2 directions I'm moving in. I want my Shogun line of dogs, my Saki line of dogs to go into more of the working line and to be a working line of American Pit Bull Terriers that are truly bred. Because the business model I like to look at is DDK9. Now, the way he breeds his dogs or the dogs that he breeds are not the kind of dogs that I want to breed. I want to breed dogs that are true to the phenotype and the attitude of the American Pit Bull Terrier that also show the propensity to do work, which is a very, very small amount of these dogs. It's a very small niche within these dogs that can do that work, but they can do that work. And there's kennels that are doing great work with that. But all my dogs should have the opportunity to be competitively shown in a confirmation show. And those are the 2 directions that I personally want to move in. And anything in between there is great. And if you want to branch off and do other things, I think that would be great too. Scent work is something I'm not into, but I know how to do scent work. I know how to train a dog to go find different items. That's fun. But to me, I would never compete in that because I don't think that my dogs are bred or not. I'm not moving in that direction yet. But because my dogs have the propensity to do that, and if you purchased a puppy from me and you find another pit bull breeder that had dogs that were further along and you crossed them to make your own line, that's the kind of things for what to do next. So what I would like to cover is I use hot dogs. Hey, so whether you're talking about hot pits or you're talking about like them little, what's them things called, dachshunds, hey man, use them how you use them, bro. Use them how you use them. Respect to that too. But yeah, man, I really appreciate the support and everything for the channel. And let me go ahead and talk about Sunday's episode. So I typically don't run my lives for more than an hour. So we coming up on the hour mark. We got about 16 minutes left. So I'm gonna give y'all some real talk and kind of some introspection. This Sunday's video is the question I've been asked about is raw feeding, right? And nutrition. So I'm gonna do a raw feeding Sunday. And I got a surprise for y'all in that video. So please stay tuned on Sundays. I typically release my videos on Wednesdays for the lives and Sundays for my actual like edited content. And on Sunday, I'm gonna do a raw feeding to Saki and give y'all an update on Bacardi, and because her teeth are starting to drop, and kind of show y'all like how she looking right now. You know what I'm saying? For the puppies is on the way. Also, if you look in the link, please check this. Please look down in the link to my new apparel line. I don't care if y'all buy anything, but go there and show that channel some traffic for my apparel link and see what I'm offering in there. Because when I do my drawings now, the drawings will come from that website. That site is a lot better, and you'll get a lot faster responses because instead of me having to manually go in and finish up the orders, they're automated. Also, I was able to cut my prices down, and every company that I source through is American owned. Every company I source through now is American owned. And it is February, and I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm black, so I do like to do a lot of business with African American owned businesses. I'll do business with anybody. I'm not a racist, but I do like to support small businesses, specifically if they're owned by. If someone was to look into raw feeding, I understand most of it helps research feeding pregnant nursing females in videos, go into better depth. Hey, so for me, a lot of my raw feeding information I actually get from other channels. And what I can do is in the links on Sunday's video, I'll post the videos that I follow. All right. But specifically for those videos, I'll link how I got together with that. Now, the surprise, you won't see until Sunday, but I'm excited for this surprise because I'm proud of myself, y'all. I'm really proud of myself for this. And like I said, I'm self-taught on everything. None of this came easy. That's why the game is meant to be sold and not told. Also, in the Sunday video, I will have links to my Patreon, and I'll give y'all a snippet from some of the kind of content that's on my Patreon that is not on my YouTube channel. Because I think you should know what you're getting into before you actually subscribe to a Patreon. Now that we get into this last 15 minutes, keep up the good work, brother. Keep scratching. Apache Kennels, Arturo Limon. Hey, Art, I know you're going to kill me for this, but y'all, my brother Art just did a breeding with a pure Red Boy Jocko to his Widow blood, man. It's actually to Williams and Ready Red's Dior. So it's a Ready Red Limon cross. Actually, I bought the dog from Ready Red. Me and Art have it in the camp, and so that's a breeding. But I'm telling you right now, them puppies gonna be some pricey puppies because them puppies is hot tamales. They are hot as fish grease. The last litter was hot as fish grease. Anybody who got one of the three that survived, because she's a hard keeper, you already know, like, it is what it is. It is what it is. But like I said, that's that pure Red Boy Jocko blood. It's that Pit Islands by Walkamaw Red Boy with the Jeep Red Boy Rascal on top. You know what I'm saying? Coming down through that Rodriguez Gator stuff, man. So it's gonna be a nice cross. I don't know if he's letting any go to the public, but I'm putting it out there. Yeah, my man's Art got some heat, got some. You know what? Matter of fact, in Sunday's video, if he let me release the footage, I'll show y'all the breeding footage on there, man. Because that stuff is also on the Patreon. You know, the things like that are on the Patreon, so you can see the private breedings. The only breeding I had really gone public with and I've shared the pedigree to is the Bacardi breeding. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hit that like button. Big bro. Hey, big bro. Shout out to Big Bro. Shout out to Rhodes Kennels Behemoth Bloodline. We did an interview last April, right before my birthday. And after that interview, it blossomed. So, man, Big Bro and Rose, please keep doing your interviews because it's getting the channel's exposure. You know what I'm saying? It's really getting the channel's exposure. Pelican Bay, I would love to do an interview with you on here or go live together because I saw the interview you did with that last interview, bro. It was very informative, and I love collaboration. You know what I'm saying? I'm also, hey, Dickie Foster, what's going on, man? Hey, welcome. I also really appreciate everybody that's showing love in the chat, man. Share the chat, send it out. But also after the lives go down, send them out to the different, let's spam these channels. You know what I'm saying? When Pelican Bay release a video or when I release a video or when any of the channels that y'all see that are showing love to each other release videos, spam all them groups on Facebook and all them groups on Instagram. Spam them because what's happening is we need more people exposed to this community because this is a community that shares valid information in a positive way. You know what I'm saying? I even appreciate the trolls and the haters because at the end of the day, all publicity is publicity. Now, negative publicity is not what I'm looking for, but all publicity is publicity. All right, cool. Now, so we hitting that 50-minute mark. We about to get up out of here. But before I get up out of here, I do want to say that, man, this has been really fun. And the things that I asked for from all of y'all is simply leave feedback in the comments. Go in there and tell me what y'all want to know. Because my goal for next week is to move on to different strategies for planning your bloodline. So how do you pick and plan your bloodline and how do you get there? So that's kind of where I want to go with next Wednesday. But you know what I'm saying, based upon donations to the Cash App or the comments I get, I can always adjust what information I'm covering in my lives. Now my Sunday videos, those are typically my innermost thoughts, or those are responses to videos throughout the week or from requests that I've gotten in private, right? And for any of y'all who wants y'all stuff covered, let me know that. Now, for one of my people in the chat, I told you specifically to hit me up. What I would like to do is I would like to gift you something, man, because you came here, you showed love, you was a real rider for this episode, and I rock with who rock with me. You know what I mean? Y'all boys is doing amazing work. Everybody, hey, I would like to pick your brain on the next live. I will email you. Absolutely. Hey, absolutely. And hit me up before then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to chop it up with you. Right now, I'm on 12 weeks of paternity leave. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm active duty military. So yeah, man, like this is actually my unit. You know, I'm a bulldog unit, and at work I tell them I'm a bulldog. You know, I'm a drill sergeant. You know, so training is what I do. I can talk really harsh to people, and people go, man, like you're really polite. You're a drill sergeant. Yes, I be tearing their ass up at work too. You know what I mean? And it's typically people that are really nice that have the most rage inside of them. You know, it's the samurai culture to bottle that up. And the samurai used to wear this mask called an oni mask. All right? The oni mask was a representation of the inner demons that all samurais fight with, right? So what that means is I put on my mask, you know, that oni mask, but I'm allowed to release those demons at work and get them out on those recruits at work. You know, I'm also the 2022 Blue Rope of the Year, which means I was the top ranked drill sergeant in the country this year. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. Stand by. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. So for this year, I was the top ranked drill sergeant in the world, you know, for the U.S. Air Force. And so I share these accolades with y'all, man, not to brag, man, but to let y'all know what kind of person y'all dealing with, man. You know, everything is on the up and up. I try to keep it straight G with y'all. I'm also a DoorDash driver, man. Like when I'm not at my regular job, like I'm on 12 weeks of leave right now for paternity leave. I had to take it before my year was up. And so I got 12 weeks of leave right now, so I got a lot of downtime. Hey, thank you, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I got downtime, but I'm also DoorDash driving because I got scammed. So I went on, I appreciate you. I went on, what's that thing called? On Amazon, and I tried to order a bite suit for the low, right? It was a real low price, and it was from China, right? And I'll tell you, the price was $200. I actually put it in one of my other videos on how I got scammed. And what they actually sent me was a damn hair bow, right? And so I was like, damn, like, I gotta get it back. So I got the money back, but I DoorDash on the side to buy equipment and stuff when I'm not making sales, when I don't have puppies for sale. But I do have a bite suit that is for sale on Amazon, and I appreciate that. Thank you. I do have a bite suit I found on Amazon. It's about $800 for the bite suit. So like that's what I'm going to be investing in, is getting that bite suit and putting in that bite suit work. Because I've actually done work in a bite suit, but the one you've seen in my videos, that was actually a friend of mine up in San Marcos. He has a ranch up there. And that's where I go out to work at and like get my training at for my bite suit work. Because like this can't be done. No one man is an island. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together. You know what I'm saying? Now, one of the things I tell y'all is I actually know how to catch a dog in a bite suit safely. Because if y'all want to talk about protection work, we can talk about that too. But this is more my pit bull form, right? My Patreon is more for the protection work or the training stuff, because I don't want to saturate the channel with too many different topics. But I will say this. There's a certain things you have to know about catching a dog in a bite suit, you know, about spinal compression and not damaging that dog or hurting it or knocking out its teeth too early. And these are things that I want to make sure that I'm putting out there into the world so that y'all understand, like I'm sharing what I had to fight for. I also tell you that when I was in South Carolina, I used to have to drive 2 hours to Swansea to go to that training kennel, that training club down there, and they pretty much are all Malinois. So like when I come down there talking about training a pit bull, they kind of laughed at first until they saw me work. And then when they saw my work ethic, man, like you got to understand, like I came from the bottom with it. Like a lot of times with training groups, the new members, it's like karate classes. Like you start off with little stuff and like chores to prove your worth. and like things like cleaning up the field after we were done with training and putting away the equipment. That's what the newcomers do, and it's $300 a year for that club, and it's the Palmetto State Schutzen Club, right? And so with that club, I learned like how to clean up the field and how to take care of the equipment. And they got they got a shed where you got to put the equipment away, and even like mowing, like using a lawnmower and weed eater. Like the new members do that, and that's the kind of community I'm trying to do. Because before you get involved with me, understand that this is a working community, not just for the dogs, but for the people. Also, y'all, I just got back in the gym. So not only are my dogs in shape, but I'm getting in shape. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing weightlifting and I'm doing cardio. I ride my bike and I'm also getting back into basketball. These are things that, like, if you don't value them, man, like, that's cool. Like, I can reach you on whatever level you're on. I'm going to meet you where you at. But this community requires a vast group of people. But like I was saying, like I do DoorDash. It's like a lot of times when I do like the sweepstakes and stuff, if it's taking time, it's because I don't use my regular paycheck to get out like the free awards. I'll DoorDash, and once I make the money out DoorDash, I'll send you. Hey, so my email is gonna be samuraikennels@gmail.com. And it's spelled just like it is on here, Samurai Kennels. And there's no apostrophe, it's just the S. SamuraiKennels@gmail.com. You can reach me on there. I also I'm getting a second number, you know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Gates, I'm about to have 2 phones. And the second phone number, once it's up and running, I'll release it on here, but it's gonna be limited to business hours, which is 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, with special privileges. Now, the special privileges will work is, like, I got a family, man. Like, I got stuff I got to do. So, like, on the weekends, like, people who got puppies from me will have access to that, and they won't be blocked during those time frames. Or, like, people who are in my inner circle, you know what I mean? Like, people who I really rock with. And then, like, obviously, I have my personal phone number that I'm trying to separate from the business. And I'll talk about being an LLC business and a sole proprietor business as well, because all of y'all, I really expect everybody who follow me, if you have dogs, to at least be a sole proprietor and write off your dog food as an expense. Your dog food, your gas, and anytime you eat out at a restaurant, take a friend. And I'm gonna share this. This is business info with y'all that I'm already currently doing. Every date that my wife and I go on, we go on a date at least every other week for my DoorDash money. $50 dates. I found meal plans at every restaurant: Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Applebee's, Chili's, like common date places that I can take my wife to, right? That are $50 or less. That's including the tip. And we can go there for $50. That means I gotta make $10 a day off DoorDash to go there, right? Those meals I keep the receipts from. Now, because I'm a sole proprietor with an EIN, at the end of the year, you can use an app like QuickBooks or something like that to keep track of your receipts. And you can use those as itemized deductions for your business. You can do this as an individual too, but businesses get better credit for that, right? Also, the next vehicle that I purchase, I'm going to purchase it under my LLC, because the one thing that I can do as a business that I can't do as an individual or sole proprietor is, when I purchase a vehicle with my LLC, I can write off 100% of the depreciation of that vehicle for the first year. Which means that if I buy a $40,000 truck and go into transporting, at the end of the year, that truck is only going to be appraised at probably like $26,000 to $28,000, depending on how much mileage I put on there. I can get some of that money back just because I bought that truck for business expenses. Any gas that I put in that truck is for operating expenses. And as long as I keep those receipts, I won't get all of that receipt back. But if I spent $5,000 in oil changes, gas, vehicle maintenance, and tires, I might get $1,500 of that back. Exactly. You can do the same thing. Now, the reason I'm sharing this, because people go, why are you sharing this information? It's because commerce is now, it's like America's going back to being an entrepreneur's market like it was in the old days. I'm also wanting to share with y'all this thing called Manifest Destiny that they had a long time ago. And I kind of see that's where business is going now. If you look at the Carolinas right now, right? I can't afford to live where I used to live in Carolina no more. In Raleigh, houses that used to go for $120,000 is going for $400,000 right now. Now, as I'm moving to Arizona, I'm moving to Tucson, Arizona in August of this year. That's where I plan on settling at. Because out west, What's happening is people have moved to New York, and if you don't believe me, ask anybody from the Carolinas. People from New York and California are moving into retirement spots. Florida, the Carolinas, they're moving into Phoenix, Arizona, which is a big retirement spot. Now, when they move in there, every generation of them that moves in there is raising the housing market in those areas. So what happens is people from like LA or Detroit or places are getting out of there and moving into these country locations because they can take their savings and that money stretches a lot further in the country. Now, what's happening is that's gentrifying the areas like where I used to live at, and because people from higher metropolitan areas have a higher income ratio, they can afford to move there and then settle in with those prices because it's still cheaper than what they were paying for. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's changing. But what's happening is the areas where the cities were at are becoming desolate. So the cities now are for the working class. So you move into the outskirts of a city, and those are going to be the cheapest prices. So the big acreage, that's not a thing no more. That's why for my hunting, because I like to hunt and stuff, for my hunting, I'm just going to pay for chartered hunts. So I'll go ahead and drop a stack. This year I plan on doing not a peccary, a javelina hunt. I've already found a club out in Arizona for $500, right? They'll let you do a javelina hunt out there. And they'll process the meat and taxidermy it for you. Now I plan on taking 2 javelinas and getting them processed. And what that's gonna do is when I take those javelinas and get them processed, that meat will fill up my freezer so that I can do my raw feeding with my dogs off of that for the entirety of the year. So for $1,000, I'll be able to feed my dogs raw meat for the entire year. All right? And that's where I'm at with it, man. I want to share these ideas because if y'all come out to visit me in Arizona when I'm more stable, you could come out there and for the hunts, a lot of these hunts are buy one, get one half off. So for $750, if you came out there to visit, you could bring a dog out there. You know what I'm saying? We could go test them on a peccary or a javelina or, you know what I'm saying, on this high fence ranch. We're going to kill something. Like, you're going to kill something. You know what I mean? So we go out there, you know, for those of y'all who smoke, I don't smoke because I'm in the military. But weed is legal in Arizona. So if you came out there, like, you can hit the dispensary, you know what I'm saying? And most of the houses that I'm looking at buying in Arizona have extra like places to stay at, like detached apartments from the houses that I'm going to use for like Airbnbs and stuff off to the side, right? So like what I'm looking at is a real community. You know what I mean? Like they have dog shows. Hey, absolutely, come rock with us, bro. Come rock with us. Bro, 200,000. I'm happy. Right now, the house I'm looking at is 275,000. I'm happy with that. And honestly, when I was 19, I never planned on spending more than $100,000 on a house because the house that I grew up in, a brick house for 4 bedrooms in North Carolina, was $89,000. Yeah, hey. So also the communities, every community I'm looking at has desert immediately behind my house. Like it's a fenced-in house. Every house. Out of the 20 houses we looking at, every house has a fence with desert out back. So I'm looking at getting like dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and dune buggies and exercising my dogs that way out there too, man. Like, I want to teach people how to like enjoy these dogs no matter what community you're in. Like right now, I live in an urban area and I've already killed a raccoon, a possum, and a couple of squirrels in the backyard legally. They're nuisance animals. I keep my wastebasket back there, my trash can back there. And so I keep traps back there, right? And you can humanely dispose of them and release them from the traps. But I have dogs, and I let my dogs dispatch these animals. That's entertaining to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fun. I enjoy it. That's what I like to do. And if you want to find out better ways to enjoy your dogs, then holla at your boy. That's what I like to do. 300K. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like think about this. The average person in their lifetime might make $2 million, maybe. In my career, I will only make about 1.75 million in a 20-year career. In 20 years, 1.75 million. I'm not talking about the entitlement side. I'm talking about actual like my base pay. Like we get housing allowances and stuff like that. That's true. But like my base pay, if you look at the rudiments of what I make, only about 1.75 mil, right? Now, can a person live off of that? Yeah, not me. I got expensive hobbies. These dogs are one of them. You know what I'm saying? I drive a RT Challenger. You know what I'm saying? A V8 because I like V8 cars because that's what we do back home. We go to the drag strip. You know what I'm saying? Thunder Valley, or we go to the Fayetteville drag strip. You know what I'm saying? And we like to race it. We put our car that we just bought straight off the lot up there. The market is dropping, but this is the thing: it ebbs and it flows. And what you really want to catch somebody doing is you really want to catch a house that was put on the market and came back off of there, and now they got a quick sale. That's what I'm trying to do. So a lot of the houses I'm looking at, I'm looking to see like how long it's been on the market and if they got a quick sale because they got to get up out of there. You know what I mean? I also look at things like I'm using my VA loan to purchase the house, which means I have to put nothing down, right? So I'm looking at houses that benefit me. I get bonuses on the house by that VA loan, right? And I know I said I was gonna stop at the hour mark, but y'all still here, so I'm still talking to you. Like I really rock with y'all. I really rock with y'all. And if it goes down to 0, then I get up out of here. But as long as y'all here, we can talk. We can chop it up. We can talk. Cause I'm a talker, man. I'm a real big speaker, like Kevin Gates say. So that's that. I also believe in a humanitarian mission. And so like with the hogs and the bigger animals like deer that I'm gonna harvest this year, I donate some of the meat to like less than fortunate families if they'll eat it. I will never feel insulted if somebody goes, I don't eat that. Like that's cool. Like everybody doesn't eat hunted food. But for the people that do, like I would always offer like some of the sausages and like even a ham, you know, at the holiday time, if they want it. Like I will never make somebody feel like they're ungrateful for offering something that they might not be into. Like I eat everything that I kill. I don't believe in wasting meat. Now mind you, I don't eat no damn possums, but I'll feed it to my dogs. You know, I'll clean it and feed it to my dogs. And raccoon, I'm very skeptical about how I would eat a raccoon, but I definitely like have partook of all of that. Now I ain't never ate no snake. I ain't never ate no kind of lizard, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Alligator, I really enjoy alligator. That's good when y'all going to be per weekend. What days? Hey, so the days I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to do Wednesday morning wake ups and Sundays as release my actual videos, my edited footage on Sundays. I'm trying to avoid competing with Twin from Going Hard Kennels. I don't want to compete with them. I don't want to compete with Fat Bill. I don't want to go up against Pelican Bay on those nights. I don't want to go against Schoolboy. Like I watch those channels. And so I don't want to be doing lives or going up against the channels that I watch because I'm actually enjoying their content. You know what I'm saying? And so, oh, you feed live. Oh, okay. Hey, that's different. So funny story about that, man. Like, and I like this cat, so I'm not gonna say his name. But I saw a cat, he posted a video of his dog. And mind you, the dog was on a chain, but it was he was working a live raccoon, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like that raccoon was giving that dog the business, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, 7-8 for sure. I don't want to compete with them on Sundays either. And that's why I don't go live. I just release my videos so you can watch them at your leisure, man. But I also try to like post my videos ahead of time to give a notification of when my videos are gonna be posted. But oh yeah, man, 7-8, man, heck yeah, man. Triple J, I like his videos. He don't really do too many lives. He does a lot of shorts and a lot of videos, and his videos are typically 10 minutes or less. So yeah, I watch him. Track Life, man, I rock with Track Life so hard, y'all. Like, if y'all not following Track Life, please get out there and go support these channels that I'm hollering out. Rocky, man, I rock with Rocky too. And Pelican Bay, if you still here or if y'all still there, like, he's getting into the mouths and he's having fun, man. Like, I can see genuine happiness in him, and I think before long he's gonna completely switch over to the mouths. I went from pits to mouths back to pits after I learned what I needed to learn, but he seems to really be enjoying the alligator craze, man. So y'all go ahead and support that brother, man, because he's living out his dream. Like, he's a dog, man. He's a country boy, man. He's real country. I actually grew up like that, but I moved away and I lost my accent because I have to be able to code switch at work. So like, you know, how I talk at work and how I speak at home, they don't necessarily line up. You know, I have to be able to talk like a professional because that's what I do, man. But yeah, man, like y'all, anything y'all want to talk about, man, we can chop it up, man. Anything y'all want to talk about, we can chop it up. My next drawing will be when we hit 1,050. When we hit 1,050 subscribers, my intent is to, from now on, I'm not doing no more merchandise on the drawings. I will send you the money, and if you want to reinvest the money into the merchandise, you can. Also, with my Patreon and my merchandise, if you keep your receipts and you one day decide to purchase a puppy, use those receipts and I'll do deductions on the cost of the puppy. For an example, my most expensive Patreon is $20 a month, right? So if you did 10 months on that Patreon, right? If you did 10 months on that Patreon and you can show that, I would take that $200 off of a puppy. Now, you'll never be able to fully pay for a puppy just off watching my Patreon. But if you were looking to get a $500 puppy and you've been rocking with me that long and you have the information, you've been getting it directly from the source. Oh, that absolutely, man. And like he real low key with his stuff, man. But he's a really good dog, man. I respect what he do, man. He's more old school. He's more old school than I am. Like I told you, I consider myself a modern or a neo-classic dog man, which means I respect how the old heads did it. I respect all the breeding practices, but I don't think that's sustainable, and I don't think that's a sustainable way to handle these dogs nowadays. I don't think you can actually test them and get them out there and make a name for yourself and be able to prove that. That's why I'm trying to give other outlets to do this with. But yeah, man, supporting the Patreon and supporting the apparel I really appreciate all y'all for doing that, man. I really do. I'm really thankful for everybody. The fact that y'all came through and checked me out on this live, man, that means the world to me. So I'm gonna give y'all a wrap up because we gotta get up out of here. Well, big up, bro. Gotta bounce. Absolutely, I'm about to get up out of here too. Respect. Enjoy your day. This has been the Wednesday morning wake up. These will be starting at 0800. That's 8 o'clock for those of y'all who don't speak military time. But today what was covered was temperament testing, how to rank your pups and decide who is best suited for each one, pricing, and why I'm asking what I'm asking, questions for the breeder, questions for the buyer, and what to do next with the puppy. In the description, you can click the hyperlink and go check out my equipment and gear. Please leave comments if there's more gear or more equipment you would like me to put on there. I really base my marketing strategies on those of y'all who actually comment. So if you're not commenting, your voice won't be heard. But your views are much appreciated. If you have not liked, followed, and subscribed, please feel free to do so. This has been a Samurai Kennels live Wednesday morning wake up. The Shogun has spoken. I holla at y'all. Thank you so much.